Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back your lovely faces to a brand new video here on the channel. I hope everyone is doing well and I hope everyone is having a lovely Sunday afternoon. And yeah, we're going to take a look at something today which I do find quite funny, because we have seen so many things recently come out where you have people who are saying, you know, the unsealed documents, they're going through them, and they're like, oh my god, can you believe this? Can you believe that? When, if you literally go back 2.5 to 3 years, myself, Stevie, Tug, Les, Laura Bokov on Twitter, so many of us, Soups, you name it, so many of us have done videos regarding these sealed documents or the contents of these sealed documents, which a lot of the stuff is known anyway. But a lot of the stuff that, you know, like the driving incident with AH and her best friend at the time, Logan, and a few other things like that. We've all talked about this over the last couple of years, and they are out there. But what we're going to look at now is a few things later on in this video, which, again now, it's interesting to see the mainstream media act like this, even though in the last video we did, the mainstream media are like, oh my god, they're all, you know, everyone is on Johnny's side. But we're going to look at something after. So, but first of all, we're going to take a look at this, which I did actually find quite interesting, because, again, we have heard of this. So, Johnny Depp's friend once wrote an open letter to expose AH's allegations. She threatened to lie about him publicly. Johnny Depp's close friend once broke silence and exposed her habit of allegedly doing this to him. Read the details now. So, JD went through a really tough phase after he was accused of this by his ex-wife. She had gained a restraining order against him and levelled out allegations of this in 2016. Years later, the legal battle still continues. But a friend of JD once came out in the open and exposed the Aquaman actress. Scroll below for all the details. And if you remember, with all of this, we have talked about this. We've shown the letter, and we've also shown the interactions between AH's lawyer, AH sending texts as well, remember, and AH's own mother saying she had to do it, the lawyer told her to do it, the lawyer made her do it, the lawyer made her do it. And, you know, regarding she wants 3 Range Rovers, 50 grand a month, you know, 3 penthouses, she wants it all. And it's like, what? So you're literally blackmailing him, which is exactly what it was. So, a lot of people have come forward and shared their ill experiences with AH. A Substack newsletter recently saw a woman, alias Gia, claim AH ripped her clothes after she arrived at the party alongside Elon Musk as his date, which we did cover on the channel. It is also said that the actress would host these parties, and Cara Delevingne and the Tesla creator was some of the constant attendees. And again, he did not create Tesla, he bought Tesla. So, Johnny Depp's close friend Doug Stanhope, in an open letter in the Wrap, tried to detail his experience with the couple. He said, my girlfriend Bingo and I have been Johnny Depp for a few years now. We have watched AH do this with him at his weakest, or watched him at his weakest from being effed with for the entire time we've known him. And we didn't say this because he's Johnny Depp, and we didn't want to be thrown out of the circle for saying that the Emperor was being stripped of his clothes. Doug Stanhope continued, Bingo and I were at Johnny's house for most of last Saturday until just before the alleged this. We assumed initially that his dour mood was because of his mother's death the day before. If you remember, we covered all of this, and with his mother passing, AH just decided to go on a spree and just be absolutely horrible. But he opened up in the most vulnerable ways that it was not only his mother, but that AH was now going to leave him, threatening to lie about him publicly in any and every possible duplicitous way if he didn't agree to her terms, which is what the letter we saw. Blackmail is what I would imagine other people might put it, including the manner in which he is now being vilified. Then went on to say that all the blackmail she did would have threatened Johnny Depp with had come to life. He also revealed Johnny facing major anxiety because of these fallouts. However, her lawyer later came forward and denied the accusations, terming them as unequivocally false. Well, obviously they are. You know, they are going to do that because it's interesting when you got people like Elaine, who is literally on her side. And, well, not anymore. I'm not too sure now, actually, because she has lawyered up for some unknown reason. Elaine has. So it's going to be interesting to see how that goes. But when you think of it, and when you have AH, that lawyer letter, we're going to do this. I'm going to ask for you, 3 Range Rovers, 3 penthouses, $50,000 a month in spousal support. And it's like, wow, that is absolutely crazy. Especially when she says, I didn't want for nothing. So, you didn't want for nothing, but that's what you wanted in the letter before it went to the divorce court. Then, you wanted in total something like 30-odd million or 40-odd million dollars off him. But then you were like, oh, I don't want anything. I don't want anything from him. Then it came down to $7 million, which she said that she gave and donated to charity. Obviously, the 2 charities come out and said she hasn't paid us a penny. They've received money in her name from other people, though, which they have said. And just going by what we just read there with, Stanhope coming out, which is true. We covered this ages ago. But it's really interesting to see the mainstream media is now coming out with all these little things, all the, these unsealed documents where they're like, oh my God, can you believe this? And everyone who has covered the situation properly, investigated and researched things, were like, yeah, we told everyone this 2 years ago. Which is absolutely hilarious from my standpoint. And even when they were in court, certain things were coming out, and we were saying on stream, this will happen. And it did. They're going to bring up this, and they're going to look at this. And they did, because we covered it all. We knew exactly what was going to happen. Now, again, we had Andrea on with us. We got our amazing Linda. We've covered this topic so long. We have researched it. We have looked into every nook and cranny. And we've even said things when, if he's put things forward and we're like, maybe you shouldn't have done that. We've done it. But that's what that part is. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have a little look at something now which is very interesting. Because again, we covered this a long time ago. And this is what the websites are currently saying. Johnny Depp gave fans edited audio tapes blaming her. Johnny Depp intentionally altered audio tapes of her. Really? He never had the tapes to begin with. That's why it's got all the different metadata on, because this is when they were sent to him and other things, and he's brought them forward. That's what happened. And we've even seen that as well on her side. In the UK, she didn't, she brought things forward, and everything was literally altered. The judge didn't even care about it. So, this is the one from Geo News, which is basically exactly the same as this one. And as you can see, by Webdesk, even though this is basically an application and everything else, I really do think Geo News, International the News, and, Koi Moi, I think they are all literally the same people. But this is what it says. Johnny Depp is being accused of altering and manipulating the audio tapes submitted to the court in the AH defamation case. These revelations have been brought to light in the unsealed court documents obtained by Depp's global fan base. They like saying that. The documents claim over a year ago, the court ordered Mr. Depp to produce all audio and video recordings that included her voice. The UK court also ordered Mr. Depp to produce all recordings containing her voice. Depp has also been accused of having manipulated all of his audio data with edited accounts of fights between him and his ex-wife. According to the document's contents, Mr. Depp has even been accused of having refused to submit an edited version of the data. Now, he didn't refuse, he just said, I haven't got them. That's exactly what he said in the UK court. According to reports, in response, Mr. Depp produced multiple partial audio recordings that begin and end in the middle of a sentence, and include recordings relied upon by Mr. Depp and declarations he submitted in this case. Mr. Depp cannot explain why he only produced partial recordings and in fact testified. Again, this is coming from Elaine and all these people, but if you go back to the UK trial, which AH and all her simps and all this, they all want to keep bringing up saying that she was a part of it, then they should actually know that he said, I haven't got them. These are the ones I've been given. These are the ones that were given to me by my ex-lawyers and all my other ex-people. So that's what's happened. You know, it's absolutely hysterical to see that these people, with these unsealed documents, like I'm saying, we covered this so many times. And with the way the media is currently going, and if you go by here, if you just go into this one as well, it's exactly the same. Depp's global fan base, see? Everything is just exactly the same. And it shows how the media wants to manipulate people. It shows how, with this here, people who are not thoroughly invested in this case or the history of this case or trial, they're going to read that and go, oh my God, Johnny Depp did that, how dare he? That's what he's going to do. That's what people will think. Because when you look at what the headlines are, you know, where's the question mark? Because it's not a fact. It's not a statement. It's a question. Because in these documents, it's from her side, her team. But what they haven't shown you either, though, is the responses from Johnny's Depp team. They're not going to show people them because, well, that would give people the actual truth. They just don't want to do it. But it's interesting to see how the media just keeps going on like this, even though the media is saying, oh, Johnny Depp's got every Hollywood bigwig on his side. Yeah. Well, that's what we got, folks. I am going to be live this evening with Les and possibly other people. Tonight, 7 p.m. on the channel, UK time. So 7 p.m. UK time, 2 p.m. Eastern. If you are new to the channel, please like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell for future updates. And I'll see each and every one of you soon.